The man, as the CEO, couldn't find a nanny to take care of his daughter. Every day, he had to bring the baby to work with him. His 3-month-old daughter cried nonstop in his arms, and he was sweating, not knowing what to do. The baby had already driven away more than a dozen nannies in the company. No one could calm her down. Helpless, the man ordered his assistant to find the baby's biological mother as soon as possible. Just as everyone was at a loss, a new employee who had just joined the company stepped forward. She offered to try and soothe the baby. The man looked at the girl in front of him, and suddenly, a vague image from a year ago flashed in his mind. The memory of that night was fragmented, but he felt a strange sense of familiarity with this girl. After hesitating for a moment, he handed the baby to her, and promised that if the baby could calm down, she would be directly transferred to work as his personal secretary. The girl carefully took the baby in her arms, with a barely perceptible emotional shift on her face, because she knew this child was her own flesh and blood. A year ago, she had accidentally slept with the man. 9 months later, she came to the hospital alone to give birth. The pain of childbirth was unbearable, but there was no one by her side. She called her mother, but when her mother found out she had an unwed child, she became emotionally agitated and was in a car accident on her way to the hospital. Severely injured, she ended up in the ICU. To cover her mother's medical expenses, the girl gritted her teeth and endured. She secretly left her newborn daughter at the man's doorstep, leaving only a letter and the birth certificate. Back at the hospital, her mother's condition had become irreversible. Before passing away, her mother gave her a jade pendant and told her, if she encountered any difficulties, to go find her biological father. After her mother's death, the girl was unable to bury her. She couldn't even afford the cheapest cemetery plot, so she kept her mother's ashes in her rented room. In order to make money as quickly as possible, she applied for a job at a listed company, but never expected the CEO of the company to be the biological father of her child. On the other hand, the man had already done a paternity test for the child, and the results confirmed the baby was indeed his own flesh and blood. When his grandfather found out, he was overjoyed and treated the granddaughter like a treasure. But without the mother's presence, the baby cried and fussed every day, so the man had no choice but to bring her to work with him. Until one day, the baby in the girl's arms finally stopped crying and peacefully fell asleep. This scene shocked everyone present. The baby was calm for the first time, and the man showed a relieved smile for the first time. The girl, in turn, became his secretary. However, from a distance, a scheming woman had already sensed something was wrong. After learning that the man suddenly had a child, she started inquiring about the baby's background and wanted to figure out who the new secretary was. She couldn't tolerate any woman getting close to the CEO. The position of CEO's wife was hers and hers alone. Soon, she found out the girl's identity and learned she was the daughter of the person who had died in the accident years ago. She was furious and swore to get rid of the girl.